Gideceğim taşını alacağım kaleden.
Found her in this morning, there are new questions about whether his lawyers may have made a big mistake, revealing text messages apparently showing Jones.
Okay, this is the best part. Okay, let's get to the best fucking... Let's get to the absolute best, most goated... Absolute best, most goated fucking shit. Okay? Get var kalesi? Bilmiyorum, belki olabilir. Friend of the show, Alex Jones, is in a little bit of a trouble, okay? A little bit of trouble. You might say he's found himself in a little bit of hot water, okay? Tread lightly? What do you mean tread lightly? Bitch, I'll be stomping all over the story. What the fuck do you mean tread lightly? He's fucked, and he deserves it. The fuck do you mean tread lightly? I'm being sarcastic when I say he's in a little bit of trouble. Okay. Fuck it. I'm just going balls to the wall. Let's describe exactly what's going on. Alex Jones has led a mass harassment campaign against the victims of the Sandy Hook shooting for many, many years. His fan base is completely psychotic, unhinged. A lot of them have access to weapons. Some of them have used those weapons on the victims of the Sandy Hook families. Okay? And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You rarely ever see someone get what they fucking deserve, okay? But, and I don't want to speak too soon, it does seem like Alex Jones might get a little fraction, okay? You know what I mean? You reap what you sow is what we like to say on this broadcast, but people rarely ever reap what they sow. And Alex Jones has done a lot of sowing, and it's time for a little bit of reaping, okay? Now, I'd love to see it. Really, really cool. Incredible stuff. Finally, the criminal justice system is good for once. Okay, not the criminal justice system, but like at least the justice system. This is a civil litigation. Alex Jones started off with a conspiracy theory that the Sandy Hook shooting was fake. It was staged. It was crazy. It was lie, whatever. And his fucking psychotic fan bases, his psychotic fan base went and harass these families. Their children fucking died in a brutal mass shooting. And then they had to withstand the most insane fan base of all time, the Alex Jones heads. Some of which even shot at their houses. Some of them shot at their fucking cars, okay? So just understand all that before we get into it. Then there was a defamation trial. Alex Jones lost it. Now this part is the award that damages the victim's compensation trial that is ongoing right now. And during this process, while they were trying to figure out how much money Alex Jones is supposed to give to the families, which the families are asking $150 million, okay, Alex Jones's incompetent lawyers, and this is like the third group of lawyers that he is, I think, going through at this stage. He's straight up. He has straight up went through multiple fucking teams of lawyers. And this last team of lawyers fucked him super hard. 11 lawyers is what someone is saying. 11, really? Tenth to 12th set of lawyers, depending on who you count. Okay. Now, his team of lawyers went and did this wonderful thing. We talked about this yesterday. We covered this extensively yesterday, but I want to run it again because it's so fucking good. During the defamation trial proceedings of Alex Jones, a lawyer of the parents of one of the children killed in Sandy Hook school massacre said, 12 days ago, Alex Jones' attorneys messed up and sent me a digital copy of every text and email from the phone of the InfoWars host. Now, why is this important? Well, because Alex Jones is a liar. And goddamn, this is a treasure trove of fucking data. I want to know how much trans porn he was looking at, okay? That's just me. That's my own personal pet project. I want to know how involved he was with the January 6th insurrection, what kind of knowledge he had. Holy fuck. But let's take a look at the video of the moment that Alex Jones realizes he fucked up.
Did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up. They sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you?
Look at his fucking face, bro. Look at his face. Look.
When you said you didn't have text messages about.
I mean, come on, dude. I mean, look, this is the we got him boys moment. You know what I mean? Look at that. He's like, oh, what the fuck? This is the third DUI kind of phase. Bro, this is the face of a man who's like, I might actually go to jail. Like, depending on how much information my fucking dumbass team of lawyers actually sent over to the other side.
Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
Did you know this happened?
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over.
Mr. Jones, in discovery, you were asked, do you have Sandy Hook text messages on your phone? And you said no, correct? You said that under oath, Mr. Jones, didn't you?
I mean, if I was mistaken, I was mistaken. But you got the messages right there.
Now, why is this relevant? Well, one, because everyone's fascinated with Alex Jones, and we all want to know what kind of weird sexting he engages in, okay? That's number one. Number two is because Alex Jones, for those of you who are unfamiliar or uninitiated, is deeply involved with the January 6th insurrection. If you recall, on January 5th, the night before the January 6th insurrection, Alex Jones led a crowd of some of the most psychotic individuals with a fucking insane speech. I remember watching it live at the time and shocked, being completely shocked that he was able to say all these crazy things. Now, here's the problem. He refused to cooperate with the January 6th committee when the January 6th committee was like, we need you to, give us, we're subpoenaing you. We need you to fucking give us the receipts. Like, that you need to send us the text messages. And we need to know what kind of collaboration you had with the people involved in January 6th, specifically like the 3%ers, the Oath Keepers, the people that we've already basically figured out were directly involved in the acts that took place, some of the more violent actions that took place on January 6th. Alex Jones, of course, was refusing to cooperate and trying to hold them up in court as best as possible until now. Until his legal team just willingly gave over every text and every email he has sent in that time frame and didn't even fucking try to file it as privileged information.
You know what perjury is, right? I just want to make sure you know before we go any further. You know what it is.
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not a tech guy. I told you I gave in my testimony the phone to the lawyers before, whatever, and so you got my phone, but we didn't give it to you.
No, Mr. Jones. One more time. And please remember, if you need to assert the Fifth Amendment, you can. I need to know that you can do that. But you testified under oath previously that you personally searched your phone for the phrase Sandy Hook, and there were no messages. You said that under oath.
Yes.
And you lied when you said that.
And he lied. He perjured himself. Of course he lied. So I did a little oopsie. What did I do? Well, I sort of turned over the entire contents of your mobile phone to the lawyers suing you for hundreds of millions of dollars. How about we focus on all the stuff I didn't accidentally send them, though? Nobody's perfect. It's crazy because, I get that you're under a lot of stress with the lawsuit, but I literally have anxiety. This is so awesome, dude. This is when lawyers are good, apparently. Okay, that's Allah Liker. He's a lawyer. I mean, he's joking there. For those of you who don't know, plaintiff's counsel brought the matter to defense counsel attention the day the link was sent, writing, I forwarded this email to my paralegal to download this production. He asked me to take a look because it was a huge amount of material he was downloading, and he wanted me to verify that he needed to download all of it. I looked through the directories, and they seem to contain a lot of confidential information, such as depositions and records relating to the Lafferty plaintiffs, and material which appears to be work product or confidential. My assumption is now that you did not intend to send us this. Let me know if I'm correct. That's what Mark Bankston said. The defense counsel responded, thank you, Mark. There appears to have been a mistake in the file transfer. I'm trying to get you the Lafferty production. Please disregard the link, and I will work on resending. Hey, the 30 gigs of data that we sent over to you, just disregard it. Just, can I get a oopsie there? Can we get a mulligan on that one? Can we get a mulligan on that? Can we do that? Can we just, can you disregard 30 gigs of data that I sent over of my client's confidential information? God, I would do anything to read everything in all corners of the 30 gigs of data. In your defense, Honor, I sent my client's text by accident, so takesies, backsies. So there's two different schools of thought here, okay? There's two different schools of thought here. We're going to look through the emergency file motion here, because yesterday they tried to fucking, or earlier today, they tried to file an emergency motion, Alex Jones's lawyers, to claim that because they leaked this information and then didn't even call it like privileged or anything like that, didn't even try to hide any of it, that like technically it's grounds for a mistrial. And which of course was denied in the end. They tried to pull a oopsie motion, okay? They literally were like, Your Honor, I fucked up. None of us are perfect. Okay? Which, of course, with respect to this trial itself, I don't even know how you can use that as a fucking grounds for mistrial. Because, like, it doesn't change anything. Because Alex Jones, quite literally, during the process of this trial, created, personally and individually, new evidence directly relating to the matter at hand, as he went on his broadcast and said the judge overseeing his defamation award trial was a pedophile. He also, like, in graphics, talking about how the judge was a pedophile in the news segment, had her on fire. So it doesn't even fucking matter if there was no salvaging the situation. When your client is literally quadrupling down on defamation with full knowledge of whether or not the person with full knowledge that like his statements might be harmful, considering that he had already lost the defamation suit, engaged in what he knows best, which is defamation. Okay? The right is so entertaining. The left will never reach these levels. No, it's awesome. I've never seen anything like this. It is so funny to literally sit there on the stand and be like, Your Honor, I know I called you a satanic pedophile with all your work in the CPS. But like I was just asking questions. Ethics Corner, inadvertent disclosure traps await the unwary. What should you, the senior partner, do? Does it depend on the jurisdiction in which you sit in? Does it depend on beyond ethics rules? Does it depend? The first question you need to ask yourself is, where am I? What states follow the ABA model rule? But let us assume the jurisdiction tracks ABA model rule 44. Oh, God. The fucking lawyers are so boring and so annoying, dude. Just give me a fucking summary, okay? Is this privileged or not? To my understanding, all you need to do is say that that's privileged information. I think that you need to, like, try to file a motion and say that that's privileged information. If you don't do that, then, you know, it's fair game. This is the summary, lol. That's what I'm saying. I can't do this. Thank God. Oh my God. There was a time and place when I was going to fucking go to law school. Holy shit. I would have died. This is the best clip of the judge picture. Oh, this here.
You're taking these court proceedings seriously. You're approaching them in good faith. But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge.
Yeah, his team didn't file it as privileged, though, after knowing it was sent out by mistake. Exactly.
On fire, haven't you?
Objection compound, Your Honor.
No.
That's, guys, he did that on a defamation trial that he refused to attend because he claimed he had health complications. And then he literally broadcasted while the trial was going on. And that was the fucking photo that they used. While he said the judge was the pedophile goblin witch. Like, it's just like, what are you doing? Oh, God, the gift that keeps on giving, dude. Incredible. Brilliant. It's so good. And then his defense team tried to make sure that the jury didn't see this, that this was not factored in as evidence. And of course the judge was like, no, it's evidence. Like, this is me. This is my face on fire. So they couldn't even get that out of the fucking, they couldn't even dismiss this. So Alex Jones, unironically, was creating pure content, like more evidence that he is engaging in defamation relentlessly in a trial where they're talking about the fucking damages that he's supposed to pay out to the victims of Sandy Hook. TLDR, it doesn't seem like they took the reasonable steps to prevent inadvertent disclosure, so it would be a waiver, and thus the evidence should be admissible, but with everything in law, it depends. I'm sorry, dude. This is the greatest. I'm so happy. Man, this is really what her Depp trial was to TikTokers for you. Bro, this is literally, I mean, this is so much better than the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. Because the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial was a trial between two fucking rich assholes, okay? Literally playing out their weird, like, narcissistic desires over and over again for the entire planet to see. This one, there's a clear evil here, and the clear evil is really funny and hilariously losing, and then the clear good is winning. So this is actually, like, you know, a lot better than the fucking Heard Depp shit. Like, you should not feel bad at all enjoying this and watching this. But like I said, you're right, Haas. The producer, the doc says the onus to assert privilege prior to production. Jones probably has an ineffective counsel grounds for appeal. Yeah. Why isn't the fact of the child sex abuse material being brought up more? Wouldn't that also open him up for legal risk? I don't know what the CP that they found in his like in the shit that he was sending. I don't know where that went. We can look into it a little bit more. Are we sure that this isn't reality TV with how perfectly everything is unfolding? No, it's awesome. I think it was like well, it's not relevant to the trial at hand, and I think it was emailed to him potentially. My favorite part is he says he doesn't use emails. Yeah, and then he goes, maybe my assistant dictated it. I hate emails. But yeah, the CP stuff was from 2019. Anyway, I know the CP stuff was from 2019. I covered it yesterday. I know. But like I said, this is hilarious for multiple reasons. But one of them, is of course the fact that his legal team is incredibly incompetent and gave a treasure trove of data that will now be used against Alex Jones in criminal proceedings. Because the January 6th committee is like, oh my God, we've been trying to get this and you just leaked it. We have been trying to get this information out of him, claw this information out of him for fucking a year and a half now. And your team just gave it. They just handed it off to the fucking Sandy Hook lawyers. So there's that. And this can have criminal implications, okay? So boom, all of a sudden you have the federal government looking into him as a criminal. He was also defaming the jury. That's another one. That's so good. It's so good. When he was getting roasted, Alex Jones was getting roasted on cross-examination of Sandy Hook lawyer Mark Bankston. Bankston plays a video for the jury of Jones slamming the jurors as blue-collar people who don't know what planet they're on. He can't help himself, dude. He literally cannot help himself. Can you imagine? You're on fucking trial. You shit on the judge. You're on a defamation awards trial. You've already lost defamation suit. You're defaming the judge and shitting on the jury. It's fucking awesome. So yeah, Alex Jones, on the one hand, has an incompetent team of lawyers. That's what happens when you have to go through 11 fucking lawyers to get to this, right? But also, on the other hand, he is ungovernable, okay? He is too Sigma grind set, dude. He literally was like, I mean, my man said, listen, did you just lose a defamation trial against victims of Sandy Hook and their families? And now you're in the awards trial? And you've decided to take matters into your own hands? Defame the judge. Shit on the jury. Defame the judge first. Call her a pedophile as well. Shit on the jury. Say that they're rubes. Become ungovernable. Sigma Grindset. Shit on them. Who cares? You're fucked anyway. What are they going to do? Demand $150 million in damages? Oh, wait. That's exactly what they're going to do. Oh, fuck. So, of course, so he perjured himself as well when he said he had no Sandy Hook's text messages. But earlier today, Alex Jones' defense team filed an emergency motion. Let's take a look.
That link linked up a lot of files that shouldn't have been connected to it.
Dude, I love this. He says, this is the oopsie maneuver, okay? Your Honor, I'm gonna call it I'm gonna file a motion for takesies, backsies. That's right. Let's take a look.
Mr. Bankston immediately recognized that the files contained therein were confidential, attorney-client privilege, and contained medical records of people, a whole variety of things that should not be turned over. And he pointed that out to me. And I responded to him. He said, I take it this was sent in error. And I responded to him and I said, it has been sent in error. Please disregard the link. I will work on preparing a new one. I believe, based on that communication, that that's what was going to occur. I mean, we have a situation here which is akin to me mistakenly giving him the key to a room, and he opens the door to the room, and instead of finding what he expected to find, he sees other doors. One door is marked confidential medical records.
Yeah, and there's just crimes in those other doors. Why the fuck wouldn't you open those other doors?
Another door is marked attorney-client privilege. Another door is marked attorney work product. Another door is marked confidential communications. And he recognized that and told me, I don't think you meant to give me this key. And I said, please throw it away. And apparently, at some point thereafter, he said, you know what, I kind of really like to see what's behind those doors. And so he took that key and he went back in and he unlocked and went into each one of those doors. And that's why we're here seeking protection under the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure as well as the court's confidentiality order. We are...
Alex Jones's lawyers, bro. Alex Jones's lawyers was like, bro, 30 gigs of data. Just an absolute treasure trove, dude. Let's just send this and not even fucking try to be like, hey, there's some privileged information in here. Like, just straight up send it. Hit the fucking raw link. That is awesome. This guy's for sure a COVID graduate from DeVry.
Very concerned about the records that have been disclosed, particularly the medical records. It's very, very concerning to us, and that's why we are asking for the relief that they return all the documents, that they destroy any copies that they have. Another thing that's concerning, and I have to. Yeah, I hate to be put into this position by the conduct of plaintiff's counsel. It appears that they want to have a mistrial in this case. At any time, they could have come to the court and asked for a ruling. Instead, they rooted through attorney-client privilege materials, work product materials, and then put them before the jury and said to Mr. Jones on the stand, that's how I know you lied to me. Your attorneys screwed up and sent this to me. That is grounds for a mistrial, Your Honor. And that's why, in addition to the request that they delete the information from their servers and delete the link, we're also requesting at this point, unfortunately, a mistrial.
Okay. Mr. Mason.
Sure. Let's correct all of that, Your Honor. First, let me just go through the facts that they were said. This link of materials was sent to me. It was sent to Mr. Ogden. It was sent by Mr. Reynolds' legal assistant, also to Mr. Reynolds, also to Mr. Maglio. Okay? As I informed Mr. Reynolds, we started downloading those materials.
Bro, homie was on the CC, okay? He was CC'd in on it.
I was busy on trial prep. I told my paralegal, get these on our server, download everything there. All right. A little bit after he gets this stuff downloading, it's like, wait a second, this file that we now have on our server has clogged up our entire server. It's like 300 gigs. What's going on? So at that point, which again, materials in my possession at that moment. At that point, I notified Mr. Reynolds, and under Rule 193.3 about inadvertent production. All right. It's funny to me that in this motion, Mr. Reynolds actually blocked quotes 193.3.
Wait, I thought it was 30 gigs. 300? Bro, you know there's some weird shit in there. 300 gigs? What the fuck? My man accidentally leaked the entire, like, what the fuck? Oh, that is, I would want to watch all of that. I would want to read through all of that until it gave me fucking brain disease, okay? Oh my God, that is so much. What does he have in there? What is he texting? He's like 50 years old. How is he texting that much? That's like a fucking... That's literally like a Call of Duty Warfare, like, update pack, dude. What the fuck? COD Mobile. Yeah, he's just playing Call of Duty on his fucking Warfare, whatever. Warfront. I was about to say Warframe. It's been so long since I played any fucking video games. Holy shit. Warzone. Fuck! See, now, because I'm this much of a fucking boomer, I don't have 300 gigs on my fucking phone. Okay? I don't have 300 gigs worth of data on my phone. What the fuck does Alex Jones have? How much trans porn does he have on his phone? How much? I need to fucking know, dude. My man downloaded the entire internet's data on trans porn. He just has all of it. Look, listen, you don't understand. Some of these are 4K. Some of these are 8K. You understand me? I need to see. I need to watch all the trans porn on the internet to hone my skills of being transphobic. Okay? You think this is not an everyday thing. But I need to consume all of it. I need to look at it slow motion, 4K. Folks, you don't understand. I was doing it for you. Just like I'm doing the top of the hour ad break for you, but in the bottom of the hour, in the middle of the hour. Because right now there's a 60-second ad break coming, folks. I'm trapped in a FEMA facility. This is AlexJones.com, Infowars.com. I'm trapped inside of a FEMA facility, and let me tell you something, folks. I got no access to trans porn now. Down here. Absolutely devastating. I can't be saving the internet from such things. But listen, you no longer want to see. They're forcing me to serve the top of the hour, folks. You no longer want to see those ads, though. All you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Folks, you can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. All right? But the ad break is coming. Doesn't this mean it will be public record? I'm not sure how it works in a civil case. Well, I mean, I don't know if it will be public record, but I will tell you that it certainly will get into the hands of the important criminal litigators, investigators on the January 6th committee. That's for sure. Okay, that is actually going to happen. So yeah, Geek Greg, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Here's the 1 minute ad break now, folks. Geek Greg allowed 10 people to no longer see the ads, folks. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Just remember, Alex Jones is paying the lawyer who's ensuring that he's going to have the max payout to the victims. Yes.
So I know he knows how to read it. What he still hasn't done, at the moment he is up here requesting a mistrial, is he hasn't followed the rule. Even today, late has not followed the rule. The rule requires that production is, any privilege is waived. Any privilege is waived if within 10 days, or if you order a shorter time, but within 10 days, the producing party of when they actually discover, so 10 days from the moment I told them, that they identify specifically the material or information produced and state the privilege asserted.
Alex Jones' lawyers be like, in my defense, it was 300 gigs. Okay? In my defense, it was 300 gigs, too many days. Not enough days to figure out what was privileged and what wasn't. That's awesome.
I have not heard any privilege. I have never heard a privilege asserted over any document. I certainly have not had specific documents identified and what their privilege is. If that happens, and he does identify specific material or information, we must return the specified material.
Oh my God, Anarcho Poppy. Think of all the government cover-ups he's exposed in the past 20+ years of journalism / radio host. He's fucked up on Sandy Hook, but it doesn't discount all the good he's done. Brother, what good has he done? No, please do not ban this person. I need to know what Anarcho Poppy thinks is the good that he has done, okay? Do not ban this person. Write all of it, King. I will comb through it. Okay, I will do my due diligence and comb through all the good work that Alex Jones has done inside of your mind. I want to comb the inside of your mind, okay? I want to do the due diligence that Alex Jones's lawyer team did not do and comb through all of that data that you have trapped up there, okay?
Information while the court rules on the privilege. None of that has happened. What's interesting to me is this is not the first time that materials like this have been inadvertently produced in this case. As you may remember from prior hearings, Mr. Barnes inadvertently produced materials. Now in that case, some of that information ended up coming out. They ended up letting you keep some of it, and we ended up talking about it. But there were attorney-client communications in there, which you don't know about, which I do, which they did follow 193.3. And they did identify those by Bates numbers, said here is the privilege, and when that happened, I promptly returned them and destroyed all my copies. Mr. Reynal is right now using a fig leaf of this motion to say I violated things, to put a fig leaf over his own malpractice, over his own absolute breach of his duties to his own client. And he's attempting to put that on me and doing it in front of a televised audience. That's what he's trying to do. So we have that first issue, which is the privilege. That privilege is waived. And at 10 days, I was not required to get a ruling on it. The only time I'm required to get any ruling is when privilege is asserted. And it has never been asserted. Could have even been asserted this morning. He might have come in here and said, Your Honor, I know I'm 3 days late, but can you please still hear me? And maybe we'd even be hearing him. But right now, it's so frivolous that we haven't even determined the privilege. The second part I want to talk about is that Mr. Reynolds says in his email, please disregard. Please disregard.
I mean, can you even waive can you even ask for privilege 3 days after the 10-day period once the fucking, like, once the jury is deliberating? I guess maybe you could. Except, you know, I guess you could ask, but I don't know why he didn't even ask for that. And instead he asked for a fucking mistrial.
It creates no legal duty on me whatsoever. None.
I mean, this person is not going to be charitable to Alex Jones's team of lawyers or Alex Jones after Alex Jones called her a pedophile too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're expecting leniency from a judge after you called her a fucking pedophile on a defamation suit, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's probably not going to happen, right? Like you want her to be extra considerate to your needs in this circumstance when, you know, she doesn't even need to try to actually get you fucked over because you already have fucked yourself. Any update from Anarcho Poppy? Yeah, let's see what he said. He subbed already. Please don't ban me, Hasan. Please don't permaban me. I'm not going to permaban you. I need you to tell me what the fuck you're talking about. What? I'm not trying to ban you. I want you to know. I want you to enlighten us, dude. What the fuck? I need you. Not even want. I need you to enlighten us on all of these wonderful things that, you know, Alex Jones has done.
And Mr. Reynal should know this if he's going to come in and try to protect his client's information. And he does know this because, again, he quotes the rules. He says that I will work on preparing you a new link. In other words, the idea here, Your Honor, because I don't think this is true, but the idea was that what he was wanting to provide to me was actually some maybe, I guess, last-minute supplemental production, right, before this trial, days before this trial. I don't think that's what was happening. And the reason I don't think that was happening is because Mr. Reynal never worked on preparing me a new one. He never ended up sending me and going, here is the correct materials. Instead, he went to trial and waited until after his client got off the stand and now says, oh, well, I meant to send him more materials. So
hey, HasanAbi, it is common after the jury goes to deliberate for the defense to call for a mistrial in a civil lawsuit. It's pretty typical, almost never works, but it's still common practice. It's a Hail Mary, no?
Mr. Reynal, at that point, if his story is true, knew that he was supposed to supplement his discovery, knew he was supposed to provide those materials to me, and when I alerted him that he failed to do that and provided me something else, he just ignored it. Decided I'm not going to supplement discovery. So if that's true, if that story is true, we have a willful violation of discovery by Mr. Reynal to allow this case to go to trial with documents that he says he needed to provide to me. That in and of itself is sanctioned. But that's not the real story of what happened. It's just not. We know what happened here. Norm Pattis, up in Connecticut, was passing his file along to Mr. Raynaud. And I know that because the directories contain like SharePoint OneDrive backups of Norm Pattis' computer. He was providing it to Mr. Raynaud, and that, Your Honor, is also independently very troubling. Because Mr. Raynaud talks about these medical records. That's what he's concerned about, is these medical records. Well, one thing I can tell you right now, Your Honor, is when I figured out that I had the confidential psychiatric records of all 9 Lafferty plaintiffs and their confidential depositions, I immediately destroyed them. And I told Chris Maddy, plaintiff's lawyer up there, that I've done that. He is on notice that those materials are not in my...
Wait, this makes it worse. This makes it worse that he, like... They also did ask for privilege on certain pieces of information. So that means that they, like, knew what the fuck they sent, some of which was privileged information, which they claimed was privileged information. So then he destroyed it. So then it's, like, doubly all good. What the fuck? So isn't it... Wait, am I misunderstanding this? Doesn't that mean that, like... Doesn't that mean that the rest is just totally fair game? Like, you might as well have sent an email saying, like, nah, just use the rest of it, King. Like, it's all good. That's incredible. Lawyers were too lazy to chop up the data and just sent it all. I just don't understand. I just don't fucking understand. That was a separate instance. Oh, okay. That was a separate instance where they had used that motion before. Not in this instance.
But I told him, look, I trust my staff. They're good people. And I trust that those materials will never leak. But nonetheless, that is a significant data breach against his clients. And what's most concerning is that Mr. Raynaud has not yet made an appearance in the Lafferty case. Mr. Raynaud is not allowed to have those documents. Mr. Magliolo is sure not allowed to have the documents of the psychiatric medical records of those Lafferty plaintiffs. Second is confidentiality. The defendant's motion attempts to say that I have somehow violated the spirit of the confidentiality order in this case. The confidentiality order in this case provides a method that if a party believes that it has inadvertently produced confidential material, it should be designated confidential. What it must do is specifically identify those documents, provide new copies of those documents with the confidential mark that is required under the protective order. To date, Mr. Raynaud has still not done that. Not at all. And it would be impossible for him to do so, because the vast, overwhelming majority of the things contained on Mr. Jones' cell phone are not confidential. Mr. Jones it probably would have behooved Mr. Raynaud to know that if he had produced me those text messages about the financial gain, he probably should have designated those as confidential. Not doing so was probably a serious and actionable breach against his client's duties.
Bro, don't dunk on him like that. Don't give him grounds to fucking... Him saying that is not enough for Alex Jones to file, like, what is the term for it when your lawyer sucks ass? Like, it's not like a mistrial, but when you say, like, you just didn't have, like, legal malpractice, right? Yeah. When the lawyer is mean? No, he just, like, didn't get... When his lawyer is too incompetent... Can you do ineffective counsel in a civil trial? I guess you could in a civil suit. Or is that just the criminal thing? I actually don't know. I guess you could try to get an appeal off of that. I understand what you mean, but I don't think so in this case. I don't know. It is a mistrial and you get a retrial for ineffective counsel.
But even more important than that is all of the stuff in there. He cannot now come into court and claim 2.3 gigabytes of phone material, blanket designation of confidentiality. The protective order prohibits that. You must identify specifically the documents that are. And things like Mr. Jones and his intimate messages with Roger Stone are not confidential. They are not trade secrets. None of them. There has been no protection ever asserted over these documents. And frankly, Your Honor, I think you realize that this is not the first time that defendants have come into this court with a frivolous motion accusing me of misconduct over the handling of confidential materials. Pre-trial, we dealt with this exact same issue, where they tried to claim that the release of Mr. Jones' third deposition was a violation of confidentiality. Again, they asked you for the same thing. They asked you to dismiss the case last time. And in that, we proved that they weren't up to speed. They didn't know that it had already happened 2 times, completely consistent with the protective order. For right now, I can tell you, Your Honor, I have, as I've told you, there are people interested in watching this right now. I am under request from various federal agencies and law enforcement to provide that fund. Absent a ruling from you saying you cannot do that, Mr. Bankston, I intend to do so immediately following this. I believe that there is absolutely nothing that Mr. Reynal has done to fulfill his obligations to protect his client and prevent me from doing that. I believe that what we saw yesterday on the stand is not a basis for any mistrial.
Ineffective assistance is criminal. Malpractice is the remedy, and it is not available because Jones cannot prove he would have won but for the lawyer. Ineffective assistance of counsel relates to constitutional right to defender in criminal cases. You got a lawyer but a bad one, so your rights were violated. Wait. But there is no fucking shot that Alex Jones would have won this because he already lost with a different set of lawyers the defamation suit, and this is just simply the awards trial. And not only that, but also this is a civil case, and there's no way he would have fucking won. And in any case, considering that he himself personally defamed the judge and made a fool of the jury during the fucking trial proceedings happening. Bro, there's no way. How could you unironically, I don't think he could ever make that claim. You know what I mean? It's pack watch for him because he is ungovernable. He is unlawyerable. His ex-wife is salivating about this. Of course, dude. If I was Alex Jones' ex-wife, I'd be fucking salivating about this too.
Mr. Reynolds has certainly cited us no law to it. Right? This is the facts of what happened, and Mr. Jones was questioned if he understood those facts. That's all that happened. That's the other big problem. There was no contemporaneous.
Your Honor, I took too many alpha male brain supplements. Your Honor, if I'd taken less male vitality pills, I wouldn't be beside myself, Your Honor.
Introduction to any of this, of course. Literally sat through it and stood mute during the entire time.
Oh, he's back. Anarcho Pappy's back. I discovered him when I was 16. He opened my mind to the government cover-ups like Gulf of Tonkin, Bay of Pigs, Bohemian Grove. He was anti-Bush, etc. He says some crazy shit also. He's great content for gifts and gaffs also, I guess. Bro, this is why there needs to be an age limit for Alex Jones content. I swear to God. At Risk, thank you for the 10 gifties. Danny Penguin, thank you for the 10 gifties as well.
The other problem...
Like, bro, this is, by the way, that's proof of what I told you. A lot of times conservatives do this thing. And I do this too. Like, except I use it for good to educate you. But conservatives often will like give you a crumb of truth on certain things. Okay? They'll give you a crumb of truth. And if that's the first time you fucking heard about something so mind-boggling, right? Not Bohemian Grove. Fuck that shit. I've talked about Bohemian Grove already. But the other stuff, like remember, I talked about MK Ultra, for example, yesterday, as an example of this exact same thing. If that's the first time you've ever heard about it, you're like, wow, this guy knows a lot. That's crazy. Like, he's teaching me so many things. Okay? Except Alex Jones will give you, like, one real conspiracy that the government is engaged in, okay, that's already unearthed, right? Like, that's open. It's not even up for discussion. It's just, like, historical facts. And then 100 other fucking fake bullshit slapped right on top of it. Yeah, the stuff he listed was declassified, and then the rest of it is just like bullshit. Not directly related, but might be good to cover later. Ken Clip is reporting that the FBI expanded their watch list parameters last year. Ooh, nice. Yeah, his good deeds were literally talking about like declassified information.
problem, Your Honor, is that we have Mr. Reynal now asking you to seal up an entire universe of things which should have been produced at minimum 6 months ago. One of the things you also, I know you remember, is that for multiple prior discovery hearings, beginning as early as October of last year, we've been talking about text messages every single hearing. And then you remember we had that hearing in January where we had the disclosure that, wait a second, Don Salazar, or no, Nico Acosta, the producer up in Connecticut, had produced some text messages up there that seemed to be responsive. Should have been on Rob Dew's phone, Alex Jones' phone. Why don't we have them? What's going on? And you'll remember in those series of hearings, right, when Mr. Reynal came here in March and told you, no, those were only on Mr. Acosta's phone. Mr. Jones, we've searched his phone. He doesn't have text messages that are responsive. So again, not only is this a fig leaf to cover up the things he has broken with his client, this is a fig leaf to cover up the fact that he had been misrepresenting to you for months, telling you that these things did not exist. Under these circumstances, not only do I believe that this motion that's being brought is frivolous, plaintiffs believe it is downright perverse. We ask you to deny.
Thank you. Mr. Reynal.
Yes, Your Honor. I think it's instructive to.
That's what I find so funny about the right. Like you said, they incorporate crumbs of truth in their arguments, but then they draw completely psychotic conclusions from them. Instead of blaming an unjust system, it's somehow all about already oppressed minorities. Exactly. And it's a really successful method of propagandizing certain positions. Except, like, the problem is, if you do not address some of the underlying inequalities, if you do not talk about how shit is fucked up, okay, like all the time, someone will. And that someone oftentimes is Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson is only talking about how shit is fucked up from a populist perspective, specifically so that he can then train his crosshairs on immigrants, marginalized people, homeless people, you know what I mean? People who've been the most fucked over by society. This has been my point for many, many years that, like, in the media, when you don't have a genuine leftist perspective ever addressed, like an actual populist, anti-capitalist, leftist perspective actually shown, then you're going to lose out on the propaganda front to psychos who will take advantage of that. You will have psychos who take advantage of that blind spot, basically, and use it to their own benefit.
Actually look at the text of the email that Mr. Bankston sent to me, where he says that he was downloading the material, but he wanted to verify with me that he needed to download it all. Right? That is immediately contrary to what Mr. Bankston is saying now, which is that all the materials have been downloaded by the time he sent me that text. Beyond that, it also appears that Mr. Bankston once more is performing for a national audience. The text messages that were provided, what he refers to as Mr. Jones's phone, based on my review of what was produced, it's not in there. Okay.
Wait, so how did he get it? Commie Colt, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Wait, what? What did he fucking... Did he just... How did he have access to it then? Wait, what? Dog, you sent them 300 gigs worth of data. How did he fucking find the text messages?
And what was in there was a review copy of text messages from a 6-month period between, August of 2019 and the first quarter of 2020. So this allegations about law enforcement interest and stuff like that is just absolutely calculated to create more press around this issue.
Oh, shit. What the fuck is buzzing? Yo, homie's getting a phone call right now, too. Wait, that's kind of bummy. First quarter of 2020? I guess it still counts, so that's good. But I mean, that means that if it's all the way up, if it's only up to 2020 and it's the first quarter of 2020, then they're not going to be able to find the Sandy Hook lawyer said he had texted as early as August 19th. I know, but as far as the January 6th commission goes, as far as the January 6th committee goes, that means that, unfortunately, if it is only up to 2020, the first quarter of 2020, they're not going to have January 6th related text messages. Like, it'd be really hard to find January 6th related text messages or like organizing. I do hope there's more though. Please tell me there's more.
This never should have gotten this far. When I told him, please disregard the link.
Yeah, January 6th was in 2021.
That should have been enough.
Okay. I think, you know, lawyers get accused of relying on technicalities, but your concluding argument essentially asks me to rely.
January 6th happened on January 6th, 2021. If it's up to the first quarter of 2020, then they're not going to have information. From 2019 to 2020, if they only have information leading up from 2019 to 2020, then 2019 to 2021 is 2 years. I know, but he just said information via text messages from 2019, 2020, the first quarter of 2020. So we'll see. I hope that it's up to 2021.
On the technicalities of Mr. Bankston's language in his email, his counter-argument asks me to rely on the technicalities of your language in your responsive email and in the orders. I think that's the safest way to go. So I don't think that you have complied with the protective order. I will let you do so now. If there are documents and you would like to mark them as confidential, and we can go through the process and I can review them and make a decision, but I'm not going to seal the entire quantity of information without knowing what's in it when the rules weren't followed properly. Medical.
Imagine the planning of January 6th actually did go back that far. Brother, what are you talking about? First quarter of 2020? It 100% would not have happened. What are you talking about? In order for them to have actually been able to predict that Donald Trump was going to lose the election, and then also on top of that, like what necessary actions they would take, they would need to have the capacity for time control or time travel. They would need to know that Donald Trump was going to lose the election, and then also on top of that, you know, they were going to do the dumbest way of like trying to stop the results. If they are looking that far into the future, why didn't they just like cheat during the elections? You know what I mean?
Information.
Okay, you guys, you can plan for both. Come on. Brown Fabio. Oh my God, I haven't been called that in fucking years. What? There's something going on. We got a new wave of like weirdos in here, by the way. This is cool. I don't know if there's like a new YouTube essay or something from like the old school anti-SJWs, but that's a throwback, dude. I haven't heard that name in years. That's what like the actual like old school anti-SJWs used to call me from way back in the day when I was at like the Young Turks. Probably the Alicia stands. They were going buck wild. Bro, this person has 22K fucking followers. You know what I mean? Like that person doesn't have fucking stands. That person only has like, you know, people that will use their fucking Twitter and their like Twitter momentum to try and like create some controversy. Okay? Yes, for the record, Fabio's a stereotypical handsome dude, so weird way to insult you. Yes, this is not new. Conservatives and reactionary people have been insulting me in the weirdest ways while literally fucking hyping me up for 10 years now. Back in the day, they used to call me Brown Fabio. Fabio, ironically, is a very conservative guy who goes on Fox News, and he's hot, literally a model. And now they fucking yell at me for how much money I make. So it's always like, it has not changed at all. Like, they just like change their... It's very weird. It's very weird. They've always done this weird shit. Anyway. Oh my God, did you Google it? Yeah, I wonder what happened to this guy. Probably fucking died. This was like one of my biggest stalkers way back in the day. I've been dealing with stalkers since day one, dude. To be fair, a lot of leftists also complain about your wealth, proving horseshoe theory. Yeah, it's because everyone's a fucking lib. That's it. Ultimately, everyone cares about aesthetics. I mean, it's a horseshoe theory.
I think I heard you tell me it's already been destroyed. If that's not true, I will order that because I don't think the medical information of any individual who's not a party to this case is relevant in any way, shape, or form to this case. So that I can do easily. The rest of it really depends on what's in there and circumstances and the rest of it. I don't think it's a mistrial based on this.
I understand
Do you
your
want to make more? I mean, that was kind of a throwaway. I don't know if you really meant it.
May I have 10 days from yesterday to comply with the rule?
Well, I don't know because we're going to have another part of this trial. I think you should try to work.
Why is it that my fucking oldest subscribers always do this, bro? The moment that I talk about a psychopathic, deranged weirdo, immediately you gotta have a 50-month subscriber who will search the fucking depths of the internet and literally find material. Bro, I don't. Stop linking haters, you fucking delusional, brain-broken, drama-baiting cucklords. What the fuck is wrong with you? You think you're helping? You're not helping, okay? You think you're helping out? You're not. Go deal with it on your own. Please. It's like you can't fucking help yourselves, bro. There's 36,000 people in here. You know there's fucking Nazis and hate watchers and shit watching right now. Why are you allowing them to unite together and give attention and clout to motherfuckers who are in here specifically for this purpose? You literally help the dudes who are like, I want this guy to be a lol cow so desperately. More than my biggest fucking haters ever could. Straight up, my longest term community subscribers are unironically regularly fucking helping my haters unionize, bro. What is wrong with you? I'm pretty convinced that 90% of chat is drama frogs, like that Venn diagram is basically a circle. Yeah. It's just such a wild thing to experience. You know what I mean? It's always like my oldest fucking community subscribers. Stop linking. Look, another one. Another one. Another one. Week off. Take a week off. Stop. They can't help themselves, bro. They literally are. They're in Discord. They're like, whoa, where are the haters? Where are the hate watchers? Oh. Stop it. What's wrong with you? The funniest part is there are so many people, those very same people that literally. Okay, Palace lol, good one. Take a day off for that. The funniest part about this is that like these are my longest term community subscribers are literally the same people who are like, Hasan, why do you always look at the negative comments? That really bums you out. I really want you to, you know, not be so fucking bummed out. And then they're like, here, look at this deranged psychopathic weirdo who has like made it his life mission to just like literally constantly fucking make videos about you. Let's give him some clout. Oh, that was a meme.
Work on it today. See what you can get done.
It's a tremendous amount of information, Your Honor.
I know. The problem is it probably should have been disclosed a year ago or longer, and then there would have been plenty of time to look through all of it.
I understand. I mean, some of the things we're talking about are core attorney-client privilege. I mean, emails and text messages back and forth with lawyers. I'd just like a little bit more time to look.
Well, I'm not saying you can't have more time. I'm saying I'm not going to treat it as confidential until you get your review done. You can make you can mark documents confidential late some reasonable amount of time. If I have to come up with a certain number of days, I will. But I don't know that I'm going to say they can't use anything. We can talk about it before it gets used.
Can we have a hold on disclosure for some brief period of time until I can start marking documents? Because if not, the cat's out of the bag.
By the way, this lawyer did the classic. Didn't this guy also in his closing statements yesterday, which we forgot, say that they did the classic, like, first they came for the socialists. I didn't say anything because I was not a socialist. Like, he did the fucking classic Nazi poem, like the anti-Nazi poem, which is awesome. I do think that he gets stylistic points for that.
Well, I don't know. What is your intention to do?
I've been asked to turn them over today. I certainly intend to do that unless you tell me not to. I don't see how the protective order can be applied in a way that would prevent me from doing that. I think they've dropped the ball completely.
Turned it over to authorities. Turned it over to who are you turning it over to? Are you
Right
allowed
now,
to say?
I've been asked by the January 6th committee to turn the
I mean, I don't know that you get to stop that anyway.
Well, if they subpoenaed them, it would be a very different story.
Well, they're going to now. They know about them. They know they exist. They know you have them. I think they're going there either way.
Can we wait until they actually do it, Your Honor?
I don't know about that.
The other party, which I believe there's no way to stop this in any way through his confidentiality arguments, is obviously.
Bro, the judge is literally laughing, dude. That's when you fucked up big time as a fucking lawyer, okay? When the judge is laughing at your incompetence as you desperately attempt to call for a mistrial, you fucked up. Your oopsie is so bad and so belligerent. Your defense is so belligerent of your own oopsie that, like, the judge is fucking laughing at you, dude. That's awesome. That's great, dude.
Plaintiff's counsel and ASPE would like the materials as well. There is a sharing provision in our protective order that I'm allowed to share confidential and attorney-as only information with them. At the moment, they're not confidential, right? So I can share them with them regardless. But even if they were designated confidential at a later date, or if there was a hold right now, they wouldn't be outside the protective order.
Right.
So I can give it to them. At this moment, that's the only disclosures I plan to make. So those two, I don't feel there'd be any reason to stop them.
Did you know about those planned disclosures before this hearing, Mr. Radon?
No.
All right, well, you can have a a little bit of time while we're waiting to research whether there is some reason I should not allow Mr. Bankston to make those two disclosures. All right, I think that, you didn't tell me if you really are trying to move for mistrial or that was just a throwaway.
No, we are moving from
The Hail Mary. You got to do what you got to do, King.
Or something.
Hold on, I got to pee.
Based on just the exchange between Mr. Bankston and Mr. Jones yesterday on the stand.
And obviously Mr. Bankston has been rooting around in the attorney-client communications.
I think that overstates circumstances. First of all, you and Mr. Bankston have been here with me what feels like 24 hours a day for 2 weeks. So I don't know how he has been doing any of that, number one. And number two, it sounds like an enormous quantity of material. The only thing I've seen is one text. So I don't know what organization this material is in. I don't know if it's labeled or if he did a search. I don't know, and you don't know whether he's seen anything attorney-client privileged or not. So I don't think you should say that as if it were established. I'm going to deny the motion.
Thank you.
All right, I think that concludes the hearing.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Can you come talk to me, please? You, Cameron. Can you come talk to me?
May I be excused?
Yes, you're all. You're not in trouble. Your camera is so loud, but it's not film, right? So there is no aperture opening. So can you change the settings?
I have it on silent.
It is not silent. It is so, that's impossible. Silent can't be that loud.
Yeah, because this little, like that's the silent mode.
It's
This is some extra content.
I wonder if it's been the same setting this entire time. I
Yes,
wonder
but-
if it's just because there's less people in there now, it's like a little more echoey. But I can basically just try to like not take as many.
Anyway, I don't know. So here's a couple things. One, we already talked about the exchange. Jones has already been deposed by the January 6th committee, and he claimed he pleaded the fifth more than 100 times. As you guys know, so the copy of the copy of the records have been subpoenaed by the January 6th committee. Okay, so that's a GG at this point. So what is going to end up happening is that you know, they are going to have that. They're going to have that information that they wanted from the jump that Alex Jones personally had said no to and was like trying to hold up in court. So there's that wonderful little just cool extra content that we got out of that. No, he's back in potentially a criminal. He's going to be, you know, under criminal investigation by the January 6th committee with respect to his actions and his involvement with the January 6th insurrection. Also, hold on. I can find the rest of them. Okay, in here. Focus, bruh. Shut up, bitch. I'm hungry. Gamble then asked which specific law enforcement agency wanted the phone data, and Bankston confirmed with the January 6th committee. Jones testified before the committee earlier this year. And now there's another part of this too, by the way. This is a fun part. Okay. The live stream for the courtroom is off, meaning nothing is happening right now. And as an aside, I'm sending a thank you note and flowers to the woman who let me work in her middle school. Okay. Over on InfoWars, Jones is saying his cell number and home address are circulating in his call and calls it a test and persecution. He's talking about going into the middle of enemy hyenas as they tear me into pieces. I told you 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I'd be destroyed, he adds. My destruction will be spectacular, and it will be a lot to others. With some whooping and hollering. Let's just go to the big man himself. Let's hear what he had to say about how his phone, his information leaking to the federal government, his phone conversations, text messages leaking to the January 6th committee. How will that play out for him?
You talk about perjury. You talk about crazy, but see, they know they control the appeals court, they control the Texas bar, and they control that Soros leftist judge, so they can do anything. But that's okay. I'm not here to keep my head down. I'm not here to sit on the sidelines. I asked to be in the arena. I prayed to God to help me expose the New World Order, because I want to stop these globalist pedophile rings, and I knew the mark of the beast was coming, and I knew it was the right thing to do. So I'm not like all these other so-called men that aren't in the arena. I'm in the arena. But I want you to know I am fighting for you and for my own family and for all of us. And I need your hope, your prayers, and your support. Today or tomorrow, after the jury comes in with their first verdict, then they have the punitive damages, and they'll testify again on net worth. And I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and you'll hear about everything I've got at that. I was there this morning with lawyers making damn sure everything's listed. How many cars I got, the house I got. They put my cell phone number out. I got to get a new number now. They put my cell phone number out in court yesterday. Home addresses, all of it. This is all.
He's saying that the judges doxed them because they're all working for a network of like pedophile defenders. Okay? And not only that, but the nefarious part of this. Now, to the uninitiated, who is not familiar with Alex Jones, you'll be taking victory laps. Okay, you'll say, oh, here's Alex Jones recognizing his demise. Me, on the other hand, I'm not just an uninitiated Alex Jones watcher. I'm a fan. Some might say a fanboy. A stan even. An Alex Jones head. So I know what he's really doing. What he's really doing in this circumstance is serving you the top of the hour ad break, 10 minutes in, telling you that at the top of the hour there's a 60-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. That's right. We're back to top of the hour ad breaks. That's right. You were not expecting that. You thought it was going to come at 2:30. It's at 2:10 instead. That's what he's doing. If you no longer want to see those ads, you can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. For a good boy or girl. Thank you, Indigo Print, for the 5 gifted subs, allowing 5 people to no longer see the top of the hour ad breaks. Okay, here, I'll tell you what my true take is in a second. Here's the moment ad break. Now, Dinor Spesh, thank you. Pearl Snap ATX, thank you for the 5 gifted. And Dinor Spesh, thank you for the 5 gifted. Here's the woman ad break now. Here's a globalist ad break. Okay, to the uninitiated, to the non-Alex Jones fans that just simply watch him and go, oh, gay frog, la la la, blah, blah, blah. They think this is a man who recognizes his demise and he's fucking complaining about it. But I am a stan. So I know exactly what he's doing. What he's doing right now is to fundraise. He's going to turn around and say, I need your help to fight the satanic pedophiles. Please give me money. Watch.
Part of my persecution. That's okay. I said, pick up your cross and follow me. And if you're following me, you're going to get persecuted. I know this life is a flash. This is a test. And I'm sure not perfect, believe that. But I mean well, and I love God, and I love justice. And I am extremely honored to be here. And this is exactly where I wanted to be. But I want to ask you at this part of the most intense fight beginning, at the crucible, as I go into the middle of the enemy hyenas to literally tear me to pieces. You think this is bad? It's going to get a lot worse. I told you a long time ago. I will be destroyed. I told you that 20 years ago. I told you that 10 years ago. Because they're coming for you next.
They're not just coming for me because I'm a truth teller, but they're coming for you as well. Classic. So give me the money to defend you. I need support from you. They're going to take all the dollars from me.
And when they're annihilating and killing want you to remember that I fought for you, because through this fight coming, we will overcome these people. I won't overcome them in my lifetime, but many of you watching will in yours. They're going down. I am in the arena. Yeah! This is where I want to be! This is the way to go down, baby! This is just the beginning. My destruction will be spectacular, and it will be a light to others to lead the charge into the future for our children.
Yep. In segues, of course, it's an ad for his new book, God Showed Me the Path Forward. Jones says, unusual amount of Christian persecution references today. He usually sprinkles them in, but today the top has fallen off the salt shaker. Roger Stone is going to be on InfoWars at the top of next hour, Jones says. He also acknowledges they're waiting for the verdict. He's ruminating on why he lives in Austin. My family's been here since the 1820s, but it's controlled by the globalists now. Jones is describing InfoWars as insolvent. He didn't know how bad their financial situation was 6 months ago. The veracity of these statements will be explored in bankruptcy court. He's working up to ask his audience, you guessed it, for money. Now, this is the second part of this process that's actually going to be hilarious, because there's bankruptcy proceedings that are going to happen. And during those bankruptcy proceedings, they're going to figure out exactly how much money this motherfucker made. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if we'll have access to that kind of information. I really wish we would, but we're not going to be able to see that. Jones said he's starting to make phone calls to his wealthy acquaintances today asking for money. Says the orders have come down from on high to shut him down so we can't report on the fraud in the upcoming midterms. He's called this new fundraiser Operation David. Bankruptcy proceedings are public, but I just mean, like, I don't know. I don't know if we'll be able to have information for this. Also, newsflash, verdict is in, and we are awaiting the announcement. Who's got a link? Who's got a link? Who's got a link? Who's got a link? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Who's got the link? The linky, the linky, the linky. Anyone? 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 Chat is literally fucking all posting the linky instead, but not giving me the actual fucking link. Thank you. Okay, this just started. Travis County, 459th District Court live stream. Thank you. All right, we are now awaiting the finale, the conclusion to this wonderful trial, specifically the damages.
Right off this percentages.
Okay, I'm going to go into the future right now. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? Ha!
Yes.
What do we think, boys? What do we think? What do we think? Are we thinking like full 150 mil? Are we thinking like a cool 50? Why is this on right now?
You may be seated. Speaking through your presiding juror, members of the jury, have you reached a verdict? All right, Ms. Opala, will you please pass the verdict to Ms. Mashek-Steele? Thank you. All right, I'll look through it first and then I'll read the answers. Ms. Mashek-Steele, could you call Victoria.
No, he's not present. He's filming right now.
All right, the verdict is signed by 10 members of the jury, who are Anthony Brown, Gabriel Munoz, Thomas Henson, Ronald Baxter, Greg Valentine, Dora Lopez, Deanna Rowley, Sharon Bayless, Selena Camarillo, and Teja Utala. I'm now going to read the answers given by those jurors, just the answers. Question 1A, $50,000. Question 1B, $10,000. Question 1C, $50,000. Question 1D, no dollars. Question 2A, $1.5 million. Question 2B, $500,000. Question 3A, $1.5 million. And question 3B, $500,000. Is this your verdict? The 10 of you who signed it. So say each and all of you, all 10 of you.
Yes.
All right. Would the attorneys care to inspect the verdict?
No, you're wrong.
All right. Then I will accept this as a verdict of the jury and order that the clerk enter it upon the minutes of the court. Normally at this time I release the jury, but you are not released. And in fact, my previous orders about not discussing anything you heard in the case are back in place. You can no longer discuss anything you've heard in here, your decision, or anything at all else about the case. I am going to release you from the courtroom, however, and order you to return at 8:45 tomorrow morning. Sorry, 8:45 tomorrow morning to continue the case. There's some more evidence and another charge at that time. Okay, you can head back. Miss Matichak-Steele will help you with whatever you need for tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.
All rise.
Remember,
That's it? Wait, there's another one? Wait, I don't understand. Oh, there are two more. Okay, this is just the start of the charges. Okay. So Alex Jones is at least, yeah, this one didn't take into account his net worth. We got Scam Harder Than Ludwig Scams, his YouTube channel. 5.11 million judgment against Alex Jones, just compensatory damages. Punitive comes later. Okay, well, hopefully they will be able to milk that fucking cow for everything he's got. But as it stands, the first count is 5.11 million. Jones said yesterday during questioning that anything over 2 million would destroy him. Although this is obviously a lot less than 150 million. Ultimately, the money is nothing, but I hope they milk the son of a bitch. He deserves a rot. Yeah. If it was signed by, that means there's an info warrior on the jury. What? What are you saying? These are the damages for the Alex Jones defamation suit. Okay? These are the damages for the Alex Jones defamation suit. Okay? He lost the defamation case, and these are some of the damages, like the awards that he's going to get. Some of the awards that he has to pay the victims in this circumstance. What is worth if compensatory is 5 mil. You can only get 10x the compensatory and punitive, so max will be 55 mil. 5 compensatory plus 50 punitive. The judge said that after sentencing was normally when they would be released, but they were not because there's new evidence and new charges, so the case is continuing tomorrow. It's not 5 mil. It's 4.1 mil. No one can do math. I can't do math either. Alex Jones ordered to hand over $4.1 million to the Sandy Hook parents. Sandy Hook lawyers have been asking for $150 million. Jones's lawyers have been asking for $8 million in compensation. Verdict signed by 10 members of the 12-member jury. So not one, but two fucking Jones warriors in there, 2 info warriors in there who looked at all of the events that unfolded and concluded that, you know what? Guess what? I'm gonna keep it a $150. This judge probably is a pedophile. It's 5.1 million by math. Okay, never mind. Ben Collins is wrong. It's 5.1 million, not 4.1 million. Or maybe they just didn't agree on the amount. I don't know. But there we have it, folks. Some of the damages were announced, but jury has to return tomorrow. I don't understand why the jury has to return tomorrow. I don't understand why normally... I personally do not understand why they have to come back. There's new evidence. Like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Like, what does that mean? What new evidence came out? Like, additional charges? Additional defamation? Anyway, okay, look, we have a lot going on, so we're going to move on from this. And here, this is a good recap of all the events that took place, and we'll finish this out. The trial of Alex Jones. The jury now has the case in the $150 million defamation suit against the InfoWars founder. And this morning, there are new questions about whether his lawyers may have made a big mistake, revealing text messages apparently showing Jones withheld evidence. Ariel Reshef has the story. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you, George. After years of trafficking and mistruths, Alex Jones conceding that the massacre of children and staff at Sandy Hook was in fact 100% real, coming face to face in court with parents who lost their little boy, who say they were tormented as Jones spread lies about them and the tragedy to his millions of followers. This morning, a dramatic about face from conspiracy theorist Alex Jones.
Do you understand now that it was absolutely irresponsible of you to do that?
It was, especially since I met the parents, and it's 100% real.
The Firebrand radio host finally acknowledging what the world has known all along. 26 innocent children and staff were gunned down at Sandy Hook Elementary School in 2012. Jones now facing a $150 million defamation lawsuit filed by the parents of 6-year-old Sandy Hook victim Jesse Lewis, who told a Texas courtroom how Jones compounded their anguish by calling the 2012 school massacre a hoax and calling them crisis actors, inciting his millions of followers against them.
I can't even describe the last 9.5 years of the living hell that I and others have had to endure.
For the family, his admission is too little, too late. The parents saying they've endured violence, harassment, and death threats as a result of his toxic rhetoric.
My hopes and goal is to hold Alex Jones accountable.
Jones shaking his head as Scarlett Lewis, Jesse's mother, directly addressed him from the stand.
You keep saying it. Why? Why? For money?
Jones testifying in his own defense, claiming the suit is an attack on his free speech, claiming he'd lost nearly everything after he was banned from Facebook, YouTube, and Apple platforms, his company filing for bankruptcy on Friday. But then a shocking twist from the family's attorney.
12 days ago, your attorney...
Turns out he didn't actually fucking lose everything, for the record. And he had his best year in 2018.
He's messed up and sent you an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years. And when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you know?
Bro, we've seen this video so many times over the course of the past 24 hours. And for some reason, it still doesn't, like, I still enjoy it. Like I'm watching it for the first time ever.
This is your Perry Mason moment.
You know what perjury is, right?
The attorney also presenting evidence that Jones's InfoWars businesses apparently brought in roughly $800,000 in one day from sales. Jones claiming in court that amount was not the norm and that he is indeed in financial distress. But earlier this week, the judge already admonishing him from the bench.
You may not tell this jury that you are bankrupt. That is.
I just don't understand how, like, what kind of operation he had that like 800 grand a day was not enough. Like, what was he spending 801 grand a day? Like, what was he doing? Not only that, but remember, I told you, he literally got an $8 million crypto donation last month when he asked for money when this trial was happening. The thing is, you can't defeat this man. Someone just dropped 8 million in crypto because he said, please give me more money. I'm broke. And, you know, the satanic pedophiles are coming after me. Do you understand? Like, good thing Jones already admitted he's only filing for bankruptcy to avoid the damages. Alex Jones said he filed for bankruptcy, so his appeal bond on the Sandy Hook judgment will now only be half his net worth, allowing him to tie it up for years and stay on air.
And the damages.
Shut the fuck up. Are you serious? That's fraud. Bro, why is he admitting to fraud? Why does he think he can... Dude, if he keeps getting away with this, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
Portion and say, I got hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why they do this, so they'll come up with some giant judgment on the already guilty Alex Jones that they hope is too big for us to even get a bond on. Well, once you're in bankruptcy, it's all there in the court, and the bonds for the appeals are half your net worth. Well, that isn't going to be very, very much, maybe $1 million, $1.5 million or something, and they're going to try to claim all this other wealth, but it's not true. So then we will be able to continue on with appeals and the rest of it for years, and we will be able to fight these kangaroo courts and lie to the jury in the damages portion and say, I got hundreds of millions of dollars. That's why they do this, so they'll come up with some giant judgment on the already guilty Alex Jones that they hope is too big for us to even get a bond on. Well, once you're in bankruptcy, it's all there in the court, and the bonds for the appeals are half your net worth.
Okay, to be fair, I think he's just saying, no. He's just saying he doesn't have that kind of money. Which I believe he does, by the way, but no, he's just saying he doesn't have that kind of money. Those guys are lying. So when we go to bankruptcy court, you'll see how much money I have, which is not that much. It's like $1 million. He does this, but people get mad at you for buying a house. Yes, bro. Because people are fucking deranged, okay? It's much easier to stalk me than it is to stalk Alex fucking Jones, who also has an army of, like, psychotic fans with guns and shit. So, obviously, if you're, like, a fucking TERF or a Swerf or, like, a weirdo radfem on the internet or a weirdo, like, Twitch watcher who loves stalking Twitch streamers and you have personally built this narrative in your mind that, like, Twitch streamers are the most, like, successful form of like media broadcasters or some shit, you're just, you know, it's more gratuitous. It just gives you more immediate feedback. They don't realize that Twitch streamers are the fucking closest to like the average fucking paranoid psychopath on the internet, considering how much goddamn time we spend on the internet. It's instant, yeah, it's instant gratification. I'm too accessible. That's it. Alex Jones' InfoWars store generated over 165 million revenue in 3 years. Where did all that money go? Adrenochrome? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that isn't going to be very, very much. Maybe $1 million, $1.5 million or something. And they're going to try to claim all this other.
TERFs are sex work exclusionary radical feminists. TERFs are trans exclusionary radical feminists. People who think, people who hate trans people, but in a feminist way. Okay, that's what that is. Anyway, let's finish this up. Oh, before we finish this up, actually, hold on. I got to show you another thing. And if you want to understand, like, Alex Jones doesn't give a fuck about anything. Here it is. Here he is confronting the Sandy Hook parents, getting cut off by the lawyer.
I think people think all the stuff you said have been manipulated. That's it. I'm not talking to you. You're not doing this.
He literally went up to a fucking to the parent who his fans have harassed and said all the stuff you said have been manipulated.
Let's be honest on here. I think people think all the stuff you said have been manipulated. That's it. I'm not talking to you. You're not doing this. That's not even a thought. That's not the way this goes. Why, because you can't feed them fake videos anymore? No, shut up. That's what you're trying to do, shut my mouth. You'll never succeed. My son's autistic. I think I'm autistic too, buddy. See that
was pretty funny when he said, I think I'm autistic too, buddy.
Not in the corporate.
Oh, yeah, he said the parents were autistic.
Edited tapes. You guys got caught. Downstairs.
Someone on my Reddit, and I think they probably stole it from someone else, but someone fucking said that Alex Jones is built like a Mucinex booger, and that thought has never escaped my mind. Like, he just straight up literally looks like the Mucinex booger. I mean, Alex Jones famously once said,
listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
He's built like a fall guy. Yep. Chat, don't get mad at him. He's neurodivergent is his word.
It's also not true. Yet here I am. You must tell the truth while you testify. This is not your show.
And Jones has already been found liable in this case. The jury will now decide how much to award in damages. Again, the family is seeking $150 million. Jones has also been sued by 8 other families as well as an FBI agent for defamation. He is also now facing tens of thousands of dollars in fines issued by judges in those cases and potentially millions more in damages. George.
Okay, Arrow, thanks very much. Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams. We just saw that trouble Alex Jones is in. He probably wants to fire his lawyer as well. Sending those text messages to the opposing lawyer?
This whole case is insane. And then you have this thrown into it, right? That you have one lawyer, his lawyer, send the opposing lawyer all of Alex Jones's text messages for the last 2 years. Now remember, this was relevant because the other side had specifically said, do you have any text messages that relate to Sandy Hook, that mention Sandy Hook? No, no, no. Have you searched for them? Yes, I have. Now suddenly, oh, what do you know? Look at all of these text messages that are
politics and history. I was kind of socially
retired. So immediately you have now proof that at the very least Alex Jones has not been telling the truth.
Is that perjury on its face? Criminal charges inevitable?
I would say that criminal charges are certainly possible, maybe even likely, but not necessarily inevitable. The prosecutors have to decide whether to bring charges. Now, one of the interesting things is going to be, does the judge refer a criminal case, meaning say to the prosecutors, I think that you should consider this. It's up to the Texas prosecutors, but this sure does seem to fit the definition of perjury, which is it's an official proceeding. The big question as to whether it becomes the felony is, would it have an outcome on the proceeding of the case?
Meantime, InfoWars is still on the air.
Oh, absolutely. Alex Jones continues to go on and not just talk about some of the things related to this case. He attacks the judge. He's attacked the plaintiffs in this case. And so what happens is, on cross-examination, Alex Jones is on the witness stand, and the lawyer will say, wait a sec, last week, didn't you say this? And last week, didn't you suggest that the judge may be involved in a pedophilia ring, et cetera? And so that's part of what makes this case so insane, remembering, of course, that this isn't about, is he responsible? That's already been determined. The question here is about how much money.
And meantime, these text messages could have some impact on the January 6th investigation?
Well, it is possible. Now it's possible that the commission is going to want to see those text messages as well, because suddenly you have this trove of information that people didn't even know existed before.
Dan Abrams, thanks very much.
Well, hey there, GMA.
There's never been a more adequate this you situation than the Alex Jones court case, dude. It's just like, he's just like a sequence of this yous. Because it is him.